This video is about how to obsolete a block. It's of some use to developers, but it's primarily designed for end users who see a block and they don't want it to confuse their students. So I'll start Enchanting. This is version 0.0.8. And here it is. We're going to configure a motor. And let's just put down a bunch of these blocks. Okay, great. Now it's this set active speed that we'll try to disable in this particular video. So what I want to do first is find out what its what string creates that block. So I'm going to hold down Shift and click on File and enable debug menus. And then I can right click on the block and copy the spec. Set active speed of %p to %n and some other stuff. Now here, let me save this file. We'll call it motor test. Great. We are going to hold down Shift and click on File and exit user mode. And over here I'm going to middle click and go Open, and we'll open up a workspace. And this is the development environment for Squeak. I'm going to paste in this value and we're going to search for it. I've middle clicked on top of it and we will go More, and I think it's E, method strings with it. Okay, so here we go. NXT motor class provides blocks. I'm just going to click on that and go browse full. It looks prettier when you have the source code, but here we don't. So this will require a little more finesse. What this is, provides blocks, returns a list of different blocks that this sensor provides. So what's the one that we wanted again? Set active speed. Here we go. So this is a list. Set active speed of %p to %n degrees per second is the block specification. Let's see. It looks a little bit funny, but I'm used to this in the normal source code mode where it's paginated better. It looks nicer. Anyways, this whole thing defines that block and what it does. So our first step might be just to cut it, and I'm just going to paste it here in my workspace, and here we will save it. I'm middle clicking and here is accept or save, and it's easier to use the keyboard shortcuts. That's an S. On the Mac it's Command S. I think on Windows it's Alt S. It does ask for your initials, not a big deal. Okay, so having done that, I'm just going to move this over to the side so we can see it again. I'll close this window. We click on something else, click back on motion, and that block does not show up here anymore. If I start a new file and then open that file that we just had, this block says obsolete. If you want to go one more step and make it so that somebody who's opened the block and in the past still gets it, there is a way to do that. Let me just see. Under block specs, there's provide blocks. I think the function we want is obsolete blocks. And I do believe it's just like this. When I'm typing over it and changing the function name, it will create a new function when I save it. And we want to return a list. So you hit the caret key on the 6, on the North American keyboard. It normally looks just like an upside down hat, but here it looks like an arrow. And I'm going to paste in what we had. So that's a list, but we want this to be confusingly enough, a list of different lists. Yeah, you might not do this, but here we go. It's a list. The first element is motion. That tells it that this appears in the motion palette here. And we've got our item, and at the end we have an end parenthesis. I'll get rid of this and I'll save it. Now we have obsolete blocks as a new function. And we'll go File, New again. Go to Motion. If I configure the motors, I still don't have that block. If I open that recent file, it does show this block. You can't create it new here, but anyone opening an old file will still be able to access it. Lastly, when you're happy with what you've got, shift-click on File, choose Save Image in User Mode. Yes, we'll save this in full screen mode. Yes, it's okay to cancel this. And it's gone. Next time I open it, it has my changes already in effect. Here I create the NXT motor. The block we're looking at isn't there. I can still open the motor test as before. I just and once they have access to this block, they can copy it and stuff, but if they don't have access to it, they won't see it, and it's not going to bother them. Lastly, there are a couple of files you'll need to copy around for people. In the front end, if you want to distribute this to other people, enchanting.image contains everything, and you'll see here it's changed at 5:10 a.m. It contains everything that that is in the Enchanting virtual machine, and so the changes are in that file. So just overwrite that file on other computers that started with the same version of Enchanting, and you should be good to go. Okay, good luck.